For almost 2 decades, the nation's leading riders have converged upon the Pioneer Park Speedway for one of dirt track racing's toughest tests. The annual Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters is a special race at the place of pace. This event is no place for the faint-hearted, as the sport's bravest men and women run side by side at heart-stopping speed. Speedway sidecars are 1045cc projectiles that provide an amazing spectacle. And today on Fox Sports, you've got the best seat in the house for one of oval track racing's true classics.
Hi everyone, great to have your company wherever you might be watching on Fox Sports right around Australia. Welcome to this week's episode of Checkered Flag. It will be a blockbuster. Our cameras located at the Pioneer Park Speedway at Ayr in North Queensland in the Burdekin Shire. It's sugarcane country and mango plantations. But tonight it's all about the 2008 Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters, bringing together a crack field. 16 riders and their passengers, each of whom will do battle in 5 qualifying heats. At the end of 20 qualifying heats, the top 4 will go to a sudden death grand final. It will be fantastic. Earlier, I spoke to the defending champion, Jason Aldridge.
Always like to feel confident, but yeah, just a bit of good luck helps too, I imagine.
How's your preparation been for tonight?
Preparation's been good, bike's been done, everything's running the program.
New passenger this year?
Yeah, he's doing very well. He's hopped on and we've gelled straight up, and it's all going forward. It's good.
People watching this program around Australia on Fox Sports look at what you guys do and think you're crazy. What have you got to say about that?
It might look crazy, but it is a good adrenaline rush, mate. There's nothing else better.
I'm sure it is an adrenaline rush.
No, it is good. It is a team, so if both aren't performing, it'll let the team down. So if you aren't both performing, well, you could that's your couple of seconds off your track, and you just go backwards, you know. But if you're both performing, you should be at the pointy end of the field.
Okay, let's now take a look on the program at the rider and passenger lineup doing battle in the North Queensland Sidecar Masters for Rising Sun Honda. Darren Cape beside me, sidecar expert and sidecar rider. Good field, Christopher and Copy will be very strong.
Certainly, David, and Aldridge and Dwayne Dennis, the Burdekin boys, current defending champion of the North Queensland Sidecar Masters.
We thank Motorcycling Queensland for their support in making our coverage possible. Bayswater Road Radiators presenting heat number 1. Donovan, Fairbrother, Davies, Anderson, Lohman, Carriger, Schofield and Schofield. They run in the red, blue, white and yellow helmet colours respectively. That's the way we identify Speedway motorcycle racing. So over on the inside left of screen is Donovan and Fairbrother in the red. Great shot from the start line as we get them underway. Tapes fly in heat number 1. Bit of rough and tumble there going into the first turn with Lohman and Carriger. They were very aggressive on the outside, but the early leaders are Donovan and Fairbrother down the back straight the first time.
Yeah, Jody Donovan, not a very tall rider. Used to be a passenger. Now heads up Scotty Lohman all the way from Mareeba up near Cairns. Third place sits Scott Davies, and the Schofield boys back in fourth, but showing some good pace at the moment, Jody Donovan.
The Donovan-Fairbrother combo out in front. You can see the gap they have as they prepare to exit turn number 4. At the end of the second racing lap in the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters. Good crowd in, perfect weather conditions. In second, you can see in the centre of your screen presently Lohman and Carriger. And the other riders and passengers in this event are well out of calculations as we head back up the main straight once more.
Great shot that time there of Melody Carriger, one of the lady passengers there on the back of Scotty Lohman. There's Davies going up searching for a little bit of dirt back in third spot, but been a great ride so far from Jody Donovan.
Far too good. Off the final turns, the checkered flag to unfold. There's our opening victory for tonight. 3 points to the Donovan-Fairbrother combination. Lohman and Carriger, by virtue of their second placing, getting 2 points in the qualifying heats, and Schofield finishing with 1. Earlier, I spoke with Brodie Cohen. Well, Brodie, you've tasted success of the North Queensland Sidecar Masters before, but in those days you were a passenger. How different being in charge of the handlebars?
Yeah, it's much better now. You enjoy it more. It's exier on the pocket and all the rest of it, but it's a better thrill. You know, you got control. You can feel the horsepower in your hand.
I was about to say, is it the fact that you've got more control of your destiny now that you're a rider versus the guy off the back?
Yeah, well, that's always true. But I was with Jason Aldridge for 3 years, and there's no safer rider out there than him. I think we had one accident once, and that was just because of a blown tyre. So.
Yep.
He's one of the best out there for sure.
How have you spent the day today preparing for this?
Actually, I was ready about 2 weeks ago, so today's been pretty cruisy. Just going over everything, double checking everything, and talking to Darren through the day, and just he gave me his words of wisdom, and just sort of plodded away with it, and everything's perfect. The bike's perfect. All I've got to do is perform.
You're talking about the legendary Darren Treloar, who's the defending champion, or rather, not the defending champion, but has won this before, and he's not here tonight. But you talk about the words of wisdom. What was it that he said to you? What were his words of wisdom?
Oh, we sort of keep that tight, but we'll leave it at fire up. That was a good start.
Have a crack.
Yeah, have a crack.
Thanks for your time.
No worries. Cheers, thanks.
Yes, Brody Cohen has a close working relationship with the reigning Australian champion, Darren Treloar. And Cohen, in fact, tonight riding the bike that he purchased off Darren during the off-season. There's the field in heat number 2. Patterson, Vineyard, Hinton, Newman, Christopher Copy, and Cohen and Ferguson. Rising Sun Honda bring you the action here in heat 2. Another 3 points up for grabs to the race winner. And not far away from a start, the tapes fly. Heat 2 of the North Queensland Sidecar Masters underway. Patterson got away okay with Vineyard on the side. Now charging on the outside, Christopher and Copy, the hometown heroes. They're running really hot on the outside of the track. Will they take the lead as we see Patterson fighting back on the inside? Sensational stuff here in North Queensland.
Patterson from Mildura boy, actually now living in North Queensland. Still the Rising Sun Honda boys on the outside. Now pull a bike length as they go into turn 3. Great onboard camera there, David.
The Bayswater Road Radiators race cam. We have a number of race cams in action tonight. One of them, in fact, is on the race leader, Christopher Copy. You'll get a different perspective of sidecar racing when we cut to that shot. Here they come, Christopher and Copy. It was powerhouse stuff on the outside to take the lead, and now they start to ride away, Darren.
Yeah, great ride from Christopher and Copy. Have a look at that for great work from Copy there. Christopher, actually. It's good to see the rider there. You never normally get a view of that.
The Rising Sun Honda race cam. And as I say, a number of bikes carrying them tonight, including the defending champion too, Jason Aldridge. And across the start-finish line, Christopher and Copy victorious. Cohen and Ferguson second. Patterson, Vineyard eventually placed in third. That was the result in Heat 2. Earlier I spoke to Gary Moon. Gary, you know what it's like to prepare to win a meeting like this. You've done it plenty of times.
Yeah, mate, yeah, we've been around a while and done it a few times, but there's a lot of hot talent up here tonight, and it's going to be a great meeting.
You've had some fluctuations in passengers in recent times. Have you got the right combination now?
We're working on it. The bloke I got now is doing a real good job and only getting better, and we're on the improve, so I think things will get better as time goes on.
Yeah, Gary Moon, he knows what it takes to win this event. He's done it a host of times. Here's Aldridge on screen. He'll be partnered by Dwayne Dennis in heat number 3, the Pit Stop Motorcycles sponsored race. Sinott and Golding, Schofield, Teague, and Moon and Ing starting on the outside. Gary's tried a few different passengers in recent seasons. The camera on board Aldridge's bike, the CDL drilling race cam underway. Aldridge away quickly on the inside. Good start by the defending North Queensland Sidecar Masters champion. Sinott and Golding, pretty handy combination, surging into second spot on the circuit. And a really good battle for third with Moon up top in the yellow helmet colour as we take the close shot now of our rider and passenger in second. There's Gary Moon in third place now.
There's another, the onboard camera there. You see Dwayne Dennis on the side with Aldridge as they fire down through turn 3-4. Second spot still Sinott and Golding. And remarkably, Gary Moon, way off the pace at the moment. Unusual for Gary Moon, multiple champion.
You're watching the all-new series of Checkered Flag, our 15th consecutive season on air. That is a great shot. And a very big thanks to our major program sponsors, Lindale's Labour Hire, Warrenora Plumbing Services, the VDM Group, and Queensland Speedway Spares. And Queensland Speedway Spares, stockers of outerwear pre-filters. They should be an integral part, or working part of your race team. As we look at Aldridge and his passenger Dwayne Dennis. Look at the way Dennis gets right back over the back wheel. He knows his job, and obviously that helps apply maximum traction. Heat 3, Aldridge Dennis, Sinott Golding, Moon and Ing.
And again, thanks to Pit Stop Motorcycles. We now move along with the program. Some good racing so far. Darren, the track is riding superbly.
Yes, the CDL drilling bike there of Aldridge and Dennis. Great work from them. There's a very a popular face. Big Billy Sewell, the yellow helmet colour.
Because it's got a helmet covering it, is that what you mean?
Well, Billy Sewell. Good to see Kim Laycock on the side with Billy Sewell. There's Pittman and Davis.
Okay, a start is imminent. Keep your eyes on Sewell and Laycock on the outside. That's Dave Bottrell and his passenger Ben Pitt on the inside. They're always hard charges. Great start by Hughes and Heidke, but going forward now in the red, Bottrell and Pitt, and they have skipped away down the back straight the first time and have already opened up a sizable gap of about 4 bike lengths.
Yes, Dave Bottrell's always great to watch, likes to ride out in the dirt a fair bit. There's a move from Sewell now on the inside of Hughes as they go down the pit turn.
That was lovely work by the veteran Billy Sewell. Comes from a family steeped in Speedway tradition, and you've got to say, always one of the best turned out teams too. Look at the chrome on the bike, it's sparkling under the lights and looks fantastic, running just as good as it looks tonight, which is of course all important. Hughes and Heidke run back in third, and then a break back to Pittman and Davies, who are at the tail of the field at this stage of the race.
Yes, the Pittman Davies bike, they seem to be running a little bit off song back in fourth spot. No problems for Dave Bottrell and Ben Pitt. They're just fresh back from a trip to the UK and they're doing it easy.
Yeah, Bottrell, he is no slouch at any meeting he contests, and tonight he's on a borrowed bike. There's a charge on the inside by Hughes and Heidke as they run off turn number 4. The checkered flag, however, will wave and we'll recap the minor placings for you. No doubt Bottrell and Pitt emerging the victors, getting the 3 points. Sewell and Laycock lasted for second spot despite the efforts of Hughes and Heidke, who raced up hard with the checkered flag in sight. VDM Group are constructors of motorsport complexes. Now the Joe Gibbs Racing Oil Replay shows you the style of our race winners.
Yeah, great ride there from Dave Bottrell. Here we have
this is next heat, which is number 5 for CDL drilling. Sewell and Laycock in red, Donovan and Fairbrother in blue, Patterson veneered in white, and Schofield Teague on the outside in yellow.
So it'll be good to see Billy Sewell. Oh, just slips the clutch a little bit there. Got away with it though. So Billy Sewell will head them up. Going around the outside, that looks to be Patterson on the outside of Sewell as they head down the back.
It is the man they call Bat running in second. Not the most flattering nickname by any stretch of the imagination as they race fairly close together up the main straight. That's brave stuff. Donovan and Fairbrother muscle their way through and secure second. They can now set their sights on our leading combo of Sewell and Laycock. Kim Laycock on the back of the bike. Little lady of Sidecar Racing who's had a ton of experience. Her brother, of course, Ricky, very seriously injured away from the Speedway track, I guess about 12 months ago now, and it's nice to see her back in action. Here's a move on the inside by Donovan and Fairbrother to take the lead.
Jody Donovan on fire. Big Billy fights back on the outside on the SRF frame sidecar, but it's Donovan now. He's come from third back to first. This bike is for sale. There goes Sewell back on the inside.
How good's this? This is superb racing. Sidecar Speedway at its very best and bravest, I hasten to add. Off turn number 4, Sewell. He races toward the checkered flag and he takes it and gets the 3 points, and didn't he have to work for that? I think Kim Laycock will be happy the race is over too, just quietly. Donovan and Fairbrother, Patterson and Veneered. Lindale's Labour Hire, specialist at supplying labour, no matter what your construction project. On the Joe Gibbs Racing Oil Replay, you can see the action. It was very intense. Now it's heat 6.
See Chris Hughes and Heidke out of the red helmet colour. Aldridge and Dennis, Davies and Anderson, and Christopher and Copy. This could be the heat of the night between Aldridge and Christopher.
Big thanks to the Ryan Group, to Shelley and Richard Ryan, promoters of Pioneer Park Speedway, for assisting our coverage of the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Masters. Did you see that shot? How good was it? We went on board the CDL drilling race cam of Aldridge and Dennis. That's Dwayne Dennis, the passenger's head, that continues to come into shot. They now race off turn number 4 at the end of the first lap. It's Christopher and Copy. It's a beauty, this one.
Yes, Dwayne Dennis showed his experience there on the first turn. Didn't put his arm down. A lot of passengers get injured wrists and hands. That happens normally in the first turn where two bikes come together. But it's Christopher and Copy out in front. Aldridge and Dennis second. Hughes back in third.
So we've got 2 race cams in action in this event. We now go on board with the CDL drilling race cam of Aldridge and Dennis. Another camera on the leading bike of Christopher and Copy. There's the defending North Queensland Masters champions up the main straight. They've not given up the chase, but Christopher and Copy on a naturally aspirated Honda engine. Despite the team developing fuel injection in recent years, they've dispensed with that for the time being, and this bike's flying, Darren.
It certainly is. Good horsepower too with the Rising Sun Honda bike, and they take this one out from Aldridge and Dennis. Third spot, Hughes and Heidke.
3, 2 and 1 points respectively. You're watching Checkered Flag. The program proudly supported by VDM Group, Queensland Speedway Spares, Lindale's Labour Hire and Warrenora Plumbing Services. So on Checkered Flag, it's now time to check the Shannon Civil Speedway diary. A big weekend. Speedway City in action with sprint cars. Borderline Speedway, a practice session. Also in action at Collie Speedway, the Margaret River Speedway, Mount Barker in Western Australia, Brisbane International Speedway hosting super sedans, and a lot more, as you can see over the page. Portland Southern 500 in Victoria, and Carrick Speedway as well. And please note a special Sunday afternoon fixture at the Premier Speedway at Warrnambool this coming weekend. Back in a moment on Checkered Flag.
What about the actual chassis themselves? What are they constructed out of these days?
Yeah, they're aircraft chrome moly. They're nice and light, very strong. They have a good amount of flex in them, which we find works well for change of direction when you're loading it into a corner and getting it to drive out.
Obviously, from the point of view of engines, Yamaha, the popular make. We've seen Honda come up with a fuel injection in Speedway Sidecar in recent times, not with a great deal of success, it's got to be said. The majority of guys opt for the Yamaha. Yeah,
the Yamaha's been a good recipe for, I think, anywhere from 91 upwards. Blokes have been using them, and with a great deal of success. The bore and stroke in them makes them ideal for the dirt. They're not too high revving, and they seem to be able to pull hard enough and also get the drive on the shinier tracks off the bottom.
All right, now go down towards the front of the bike. Obviously you've got some coil over style suspension and the front tyre and wheel.
Yeah, most guys are running TW31s, which are the Bridgestones. That one's grooved a bit just to get a bit more life out of it. Basically everyone's running an 18-inch front wheel. This one's got Coney shocks on it. It's personal choice how you set your front end up. I've got a measured height that I like to run with a certain amount of with my hoop sitting in a certain position, and you can adjust all sorts of different things. Like with your ride height, you can push your tubes through. You can get lead, positive or negative trail on your hoop, and basically it's a personal thing, track to track, and basically once your front's set, you don't really mess with it too much.
We might just get you to put the seat and the remaining piece of fiberglass on the bike so the folks at home watching can see how simple this procedure is. It doesn't take very long, and on it goes. Obviously, passenger sits on the back. At least that's where he starts the race.
Yeah.
And the role of a passenger cannot be underestimated. The importance of their body weight and where they put it at the right time on the track is crucial.
Yeah, for sure. One of their biggest jobs is at the start, to get you out the hole without too much, with the front wheel not lifting too much, but not sitting there wheel spinning. The ideal is to have a front wheel 6 inches to a foot off the deck, and then driving you all the way to the corner. And then, if he's done that job right, he's got a pretty quick change of mind to get into the right spot for the corner, depending on, and he's got to know roughly what I'm thinking too. If I'm out wide, he might need to think, okay, he's going inside, and change his weight and watch and get a feedback off what I'm doing on the handlebars. So basically, the further forward he gets helps break the back wheel. The further back he gets helps it drive harder. So as you'll see tonight on the tape, when the guys are coming out the corner, they'll start feeding back to get you the drive down the straight, and then they'll pop down to a position that both the rider and passenger are happy with and the bike's comfortable, and then they'll be able to just hopefully float with a little bit of push around the corner to get that same exit with the drive on the way out.
I'll tell you what, Dave, you go all right. You've got a future in this business as a commentator when you give the riding away.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't mind having a chat. Probably upstairs in the booth would be best. I'm not the prettiest of people.
He doesn't mind having a chat. Let me tell you, I've known him a while. That is a gross understatement. Dave Bottrell providing an insight on the sport that is Speedway sidecar racing. It is sensational.
Here we are back with the next heat through now, and we've got Sinnott and Golding out of the red, Bottrell and Pitt, James Hinton and Daniel Newman out of white, and Lohman and Carragher out of the yellow helmet colour. Hinton and Newman, the only New South Wales rider in the field. James Hinton all the way from the central coast of New South Wales.
And it's unusual for him or them to be the only New South Wales representatives in the North Queensland Sidecar Masters. Slightly different look to the field this year. We are away now in heat number 7 as the tapes fly. Sinnott and Golding, best two begin. Now going quickly, Dave Bottrell and Ben Pitt, who won their opening heat ride tonight quite comfortably. Note that they are riding much higher up on the circuit here as we see Sinnott and Golding lead them at the end of lap number 1.
It is typical Dave Bottrell to ride up in the dirt too. The track's starting to get a little bit slick down the bottom. Problems there for Lohman and Carragher. No good going back out after you've been on the infield. Just wasting tyres and fuel.
Hinton and Newman lie in third. That's the second place combination you're looking at. Dave Bottrell and the bustling Benny Pitt, who likes nothing more than a night of swinging off the side of that bike, let me tell you. Back straight away in front of a pretty good crowd here in the Burdekin and Shire Air in North Queensland. And our leading combination of Sinnott and Golding have checked out in heat number 7 and career away with this one. Track's starting to go a little slick on the inside, Darren.
Yeah, certainly, and some boys will set up for the slick. A lot of guys like the inside line. Not as much drive on the slick, but you can set these bikes up to run practically anywhere. That'll be a great ride there from the two teenagers, Sinnott and Golding, to take that one out. Dave Bottrell and Ben Pitt in second spot. And good to see James Hinton slip home for third and the 1 point.
A thanks to Motorcycling Queensland, sponsors of Heat 7. A big thanks to Lindsay Granger for his assistance. Presenting this checkered flag coverage of the North Queensland Sidecar Masters. The local combo has plenty of support here tonight at the racetrack. Darren, there's not many racing vehicles in Speedway that you've not competed in or on. Cars, bikes. How do sidecars rate in terms of the exhilaration?
It's probably the best. I've had the luck of driving one of Loadsman's sprint cars. That was great fun, but sidecars, just that, you know, you're in total control. And it's just exhilarating. The power that you've got, the power to weight is unbelievable. These things are around about 180 horsepower plus, and they only weigh around about 180 kilos. So power to weight is the same as a sprint car.
The award-winning Bayswater Road Radiators bringing you the action in this heat. Away we go. Gary Moon and his passenger Ing in the centre got away okay. Schofield and Schofield likewise in the red helmet colour. In fact, they lead as this field charges down the back straight the first time. Here's Moon now, gives the throttle a fistful. That's easy to say when you're trying to spit it out fast. In fact, now the bike breaks down. They'll take no further part in this one. In fact, Mooney will probably retire to the infield any moment. Lead, though, hasn't changed. It's still Schofield and Schofield. Whoop, up on the inside comes Cohen and Ferguson as we go on board the Brodie Cohen bike now. The Bayswater Road Radiators race cam.
Yes, the ex-Darren Treloar bike, Brodie Cohen now riding it. Darren Treloar, multiple Australian champion, and Brodie doing a great job out in front. Praise too for the Schofields. They've really come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of months or so.
Got a cable of some description hanging in the front of the camera lens there. We apologise for that. Something is shaken loose. Doesn't matter. The pictures are still graphic. Cohen and Ferguson down the back straight. Of course, Brodie Cohen receives unbelievable support from his family, particularly his dad, Paul Cohen, who's a bit of a legend himself in sidecar racing and one of the most colourful sidecar commentators I've ever heard. There's the checkered flag, and his boy got the job done. Brodie Cohen and Gareth Ferguson, the victors, 3 points to them. Schofield second, and Moon and Ing, well, they didn't finish the race, so no points going to them. Bayswater Road Radiators, heat number 8. On checkered flag, our thanks to VDM Group, constructors of motorsport complexes, Warrenora Plumbing Supplies, Sydney's biggest industrial supplier of plumbing. Of course, Queensland Speedway Spares, stockists of outerwear pre-filters. You can cut back on the need to clean your air filters by using the outerwear technology. And Lindale's Labour Hire. Christopher Coppy, Pittman Davis, Donovan Fairbrother, Sinnott and Golding. That's the field in red, blue, white, yellow, respectively, in heat number 9.
And a couple of these boys have been doing very well. Jody Donovan's been putting on some good pace. It'd be hard to beat these fellas. Christopher and Coppy, also fresh back from England. Great start from Christopher and Coppy. They're going to be around about a bike length in front as they hit the first turn. Golding and Sinnott in trouble out near the boards. And Donovan blasts through on the inside. Here comes Sinnott and Golding back around the outside.
Oh, we've got one spinning there. Gee, that could have been dangerous. Donovan and Fairbrother, they turned around facing the wrong way. Heart failure time. Rising Sun onto race cam. You watch Scotty Christopher in action. The track's been freshly prepped. Some dirt's been brought back down from the fence across to the pole line. And the slick nature of the surface we alluded to in the race prior, well, it's changed somewhat now, Darren.
Yeah, it certainly has. It still might have been a bit greasy down on the bottom there for Jody Donovan just to turn that bike around. Whoa, there's Christopher and Coppy doing the same thing. They got a little bit higher. I think the track could be a bit greasy, David.
Indeed. Sinnott and Golding are in second. That's an excellent onboard shot. Gives you an idea of how hard the rider's working at the wheel and the handlebars. Christopher and Coppy, they won the FIM Gold Trophy, the unofficial Sidecar World Championship in the UK a couple of years ago. They haven't quite been as consistently dominant in the last 18 months as we saw for a few years prior to that. So a big season for them, 2008, 2009, to re-establish this duo at the top of the sidecar pile. Christopher Coppy takes the win. You can see a good crowd in tonight. Balmy weather conditions, temperatures in the mid-20s. In Heat 9 it was Christopher, Sinnott and Pittman, 3, 2 and 1 points respectively. And the action is outstanding tonight. Let's have a look on the Joe Gibbs Racing Oil replay now with expert Darren Caith.
You see, Jody Donovan just tried to stay on the inside line there, and I think it might have been just a little bit greasy. Unfortunately for Jody, out of this one, and no points after a very, very good start to the night.
Of course, a massive sidecar event coming up at Gilman in Adelaide on November 22. As you look at the field for heat number 10 for pit stop motorcycles, Moon, Patterson, Bottrell, Davies are the riders. You can see their passengers. We'll just call the start of this heat and then tell you about that event I was alluding to, November 22. Underway in the next heat of the NQ Sidecar Masters, and Bat Patterson and Veneer take the lead with Bottrell and Pitt running in second.
I might be wrong here, but it looked like Gary Moon was actually on the junior bike there. It looked like Gary Moon has had an engine problem with his big bike, and he's currently riding a 250cc motorcycle against these 1045s.
You are right, he is. It looks like a midget bike, and for good reason. Coming up at Adelaide on November 22, it's been dubbed the best of the best. Darren Treloar, his testimonial meeting, it will probably be the biggest sidecar event the sport has ever seen in this country, a celebration of decades of champions. Every living Australian champion from the 60s to the current era will be on display, and many of the greats have made a comeback to do battle that night, including Glenn O'Brien and Andrew Cleve and some of the greats of the sport. Bring it on, and you'll see it here on Checkered Flag later in the season.
Yeah, it will be something else. I've been speaking to one of the older fellas that's going to have a ride on one of these new bikes. So he's hopped off of Vincent 30 years ago, and Bob Levy will jump on one of these new lay-down bikes and have a ride. So it's all going to be happening, but that is a great ride from Bat Patterson there. Davies without a passenger. I don't think there'll be any finish there. Gary Moon on the 250 finishes in second spot for 2 points. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. Thanks again to Warrenora Plumbing Services, Lindale's Labour Hire, Queensland Speedway Spares and VDM Group, the latter constructor of motorsport complexes. It'll be Rams Heads bringing you the action in the next heat of the NQ Sidecar Masters. Coming up in a few minutes' time, a profile on Dave Bottrell, one of the funnier men in the sport of Speedway sidecar racing.
Okay, our next heat through now. There's Brodie Cohen at the moment, really on the pace tonight, doing a great job. There's the onboard that we'll see soon between Cohen and Ferguson. So this should be a good race for Cohen and Ferguson, Schofield and Ty, Lohman and Carragher, and Chris Hughes and Heidke out on the fence in grid 4.
Away we go. Cohen got away okay on the inside. Look at that race can shot. Bayswater Road Radiators onboard camera, and it is Cohen and his passenger Gareth Ferguson, the leaders. You can see they've already opened up a sizable gap there. Next on the circuit is Lohman and Carragher. And following through in the yellow is Hughes and Heidke. So Schofield and Teague were scheduled to line up in the blue helmet out of gate 2. They've not turned up.
Yes, and Scotty Lohman doing a good job in second spot at the moment, but it's all Brodie Cohen and Ferguson out in front. Amazed that Chris Hughes is back a little way in third.
This leading combination, Cohen and Ferguson, two young men, and they've got a great future in the sport. I know that Cohen is planning extensive interstate travel commitments this season. Up the main straight they run again and back on board. Look at the tail of the bike kick out and a big puff of smoke. What's your take on that, Darren?
I think it just might be getting a little bit hot, that's all, David. It just seemed like steam more than anything. But you see it's gone there now, so I'd say just a little bit of steam. The bike might be getting hot.
Doing it easily in this one. It's a pretty lacklustre affair, to be honest. Cohen and Ferguson. Easy winners ahead of Lohmann Carragher. Then Hughes and Heidke in heat number 11. So we're almost at the completion of the third round of qualifying heats now. And a good performance by the local duo. There's the referee operating up in a tower, Tanya Moon, sister of Gary, one of the riders on track here tonight, who's had a wretched night. He'd rather forget, I'm sure. In heat 12 for CDL drilling at Sewell, Laycock, Schofield, Aldridge, Dennis, Hinton and Newman. Our onboard camera is strapped onto the Aldridge Dennis bike.
Yes, there's Billy Sewell on the inside. Makes his own frames, actually, the Sewell Racing frames. Good start too from Billy Sewell, and Aldridge, an absolute screamer out of the white helmet colour, grid 3, and we'll head them up as they go down the back. Sewell currently in second spot, and James Hinton zips around the outside for third. There we see Dwayne Dennis getting down as they come through the corner. Passengers get down to distribute the weight, and on the main straight you'll notice the passengers get up and sit back a little bit. This gives the bike a heap more drive. You'll notice there goes Dwayne Dennis to sit back and give the bike some more drive, and then distribute their weight as they go through the corner. Passenger, a very, very, very intricate part of the team.
Well explained, Darren Caife. And look at that up on the inside. What a move by Schofield and Schofield. Newman falls off the bike. That was acrobatics at its absolute best. He finished up on his feet.
Yeah, there we have Daniel Newman making his way to the infield. It's going to be all Aldridge at the moment and Dwayne Dennis. Second spot still Billy Sewell. Yeah, that problem back there when your passenger comes off too. As you can see, James Hinton's still running in third spot. You don't know that your passenger has actually fallen off most of the time. So it's very difficult to tell. I've been there, done that.
People would find that a little strange. So you can't really notice the movement on the bike that they create?
You can notice that there's not as much drive, but you just don't think that your passenger has fallen off at that time. So they very rarely do fall off.
That's true. In heat 12, Aldridge Dennis far too good. Sewell and Laycock. Schofield picking up third money. Here's the Joe Gibbs Racing All replay of the passenger Newman getting into all sorts of trouble, but it worked out okay. Right now it's time for the profile on Checkered Flag.
I was 5 and I was down in Adelaide on the junior mini bike. I just broke myself too much riding dirt bikes, so I took the easy way out. Not when you're silly. Probably about this silly. Solo-wise, Johnny Bolger, being an Adelaide boy, I always used to watch him and Phil Crump on the Speedway side of things. Oh, how many drinks do we have to have? Yeah, perfect date, no. Someone young, that pretty and likes Speedway. Probably Valentino Rossi. Oh no, just a lifestyle answer, I think. Probably Elle McPherson, she's a lovely Aussie. Claudia Schiffer, she's not too bad, and maybe Linda Lovelace for the obvious reasons.
It's great to have you along for the ride on today's episode of Checkered Flag. We're coming to you from Pioneer Park Speedway at Erin, North Queensland. The running of the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters. A good field, and we've seen some outstanding Speedway sidecar racing so far. We advance now to Heat 13, and there's the field on screen. Hinton, Moon, Hughes and Donovan. Red, blue, white and yellow. And Moon and Ing, combo that would have been among the pre-meeting favourites, have had a horrible night tonight, Darren.
And now Moon and Ing find themselves on bike number 3 for the night, riding Scott Davis's black bike. Out of the start, though, no problems for Chris Hughes. Out in front, used to be a passenger of Gary Moon's, actually. And we see Hinton in second spot, Jody Donovan back in third, and Mooney will have a fair bit of learning experience on the Davies bike in fourth.
I suspect you're right. Hughes and Heidke, the leaders. Hughes, as you point out, Darren, former passenger. His nickname is Budgie. So in the field tonight, we've got Budgie Hughes, we've got Fruit Bat.
Got them all going
got
on
some
tonight.
strange nicknames going on out there. Here comes the field back onto the main straight in this heat, and clear-cut race leader Hughes and Heidke. Battle for second is a beauty. Hinton and Newman, the best of it in the red helmet colour. You can see skating up high on the track there, Donovan and Fairbrother in the yellow, and they now challenge for second on the outside. That is a good battle as they exit turn number 4 on the inside. It's Hinton and Newman. Will they capitulate and let the other team race by on the outside? They do, and now in second is Donovan and Fairbrother chasing our leaders.
Amazing Donovan. Jody Donovan used to be a passenger as well, so we've got Hughes out in front by a mile as they greet the black and white checker. Donovan, great ride from last to second. Third spot will go to Hinton for the 1 point, and Gary Moon failed to finish on the Davies bike.
Yeah, their night went from bad to worse. Ryan Group Heat 13, Hughes, Heidke, Donovan, Fairbrother, Hinton and Newman. And obviously 3 points going to the winner, 2 points to second, 1 to third as they add to their tally. The Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters. You can hear the crowd going off. They've got some local support among the spectators. And this will be an absolute beauty, presented by Motorcycling Queensland. We thank them for their support. Heat 14, Davies, Anderson, Sewell, Laycock, Cohen, Ferguson, Sinott, Golding, a beauty. Thanks to Warrenora Plumbing Services, Lindale's Labour Hire, VDM Group, Queensland Speedway Spares, stocking outerwear pre-filters. An integral part of any race team operation are the outerwear pre-filters. And a pretty good even start here in the next heat. We see Sinott and Golding charging across from the outside. Cohen and Ferguson bustling on the inside. We now go on board with that team on the Bayswater Road Radiators race cam.
I was just about to say, watch Sinott and Golding. They like to ride up high too, and they went right round the outside of Cohen and Sewell in the one move, and they're out of there.
There's Sewell and Laycock. I mentioned earlier one of the better presented teams here tonight. On board with Cohen Ferguson. See the dirt flying from the rear wheel of the bike. You know all about that, Darren. It's affectionately known as the rooster tail in the sport.
Yes, and it always hits the passenger and the rider. It doesn't look like it's going very high there, but sometimes it's midnight sometimes, and you've got tear-offs on your helmet, which you pull, so therefore you can see.
For half a lap, and then you've got to do it again because you can't see.
Correct.
If you're unlucky enough to be in second on a heavier track. And it can be physically battering too. You'll often see riders and their passengers with bruises all over them in the days following a meeting, such as the force of the dirt and the occasional stone. Heat 14, Sinott and Golding, Cohen, Ferguson, Sewell and Laycock. They're tough people, the men and women that make up Speedway sidecar racing. And a good win there by Sinott and Golding, who are enjoying a good night in the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters. Action continues now on the Pioneer Park Speedway venue. Bayswater Road Radiators, heat number 15, Pittman Davies, Lohman Carragher, Aldridge Dennis, Patterson Van Erd. Look forward to this one. We've not seen too many lacklustre races tonight. On board we go with the CDL drilling race cam on the Aldridge Dwayne Dennis bike. Second from the right with the white helmet colour. Defending North Queensland Sidecar Masters champions. Tapes fly over on the inside. Pittman and Davies went absolutely nowhere in the red helmet colour. And you can see that Aldridge and Dennis have shot straight to the front. Not a bad battle for second there, involving Lohman and Carragher. And on the outside, Patterson and Veneerd.
Yes, I don't think they'll see the way that Aldridge and Dennis have gone in this race. Pat Patterson got a very average start, and Scotty Lohman sticking to the low line there. Patterson now zips into second spot, and Lohman back to third.
Tight shot of our second place rider, Patterson and Veneerd down the back straight, and now on board with Aldridge and Dennis.
Yes, doing it easy out in front at the moment. Another 3 points it'll be for Aldridge and Dennis. That should secure them a spot in the final. Second spot still Bat Patterson. It's all going to happen because so many riders are very, very even on points at the moment. It's only really Aldridge and Christopher that have the big points at the moment.
Yeah, track's riding pretty well too. It's racy enough. Started to go slick, was freshly prepped again. And you can see there is plentiful dirt on the surface and there's ample overtaking opportunities on various racing lines, not least of which is up the top, Darren. They're starting to develop a genuine cushion there as Aldridge and Dwayne Dennis take the victory. We'll recap the top three for you and hence where the points went to. Aldridge Dennis 3 points, Patterson Van Eerd 2 points, and Lohman and Carragher getting the 1 point again. Thank you to VDM Group, Queensland Speedway Spares, Lindale's Labour Hire, and a Warren Plumbing Services, major sponsors of Checkered Flag in 08-09.
Yes, another one coming our way. Now, this will be a very, very good race between Aldridge out on the fence this time, Dave Bottrell and Ben Pitt out of the white helmet colour, Ferguson and Cohen blue helmet colour, and Jody Donovan and Fairbrother on the inside in the red helmet colour. These guys here could easily make it to the final if they can get the 3 points here. So probably one of the biggest heats of the night.
Yeah, we have three teams that are in contention for a grand finale berth. Away we go. Inside, good start, Donovan and Fairbrother. In second spot, you can see it's Aldridge and Dennis. We go red here.
I think that'll be Donovan out. Donovan looked like he let the clutch go a little bit earlier out of the one gate, and I'd say Donovan will be excluded for touching the tapes.
And his passenger, Fairbrother, unhappy about it.
Bit of a shame. He did jump the gate though, and if you do touch the tapes, it's automatic exclusion in Speedway.
So we come back for a full race restart with the other three teams. Aldridge Dennis, yellow helmet colour. Bottrell Pitt whites. Cohen Ferguson over on the inside. The TRE Racing entry as the tapes fly. Gee, they got away very evenly, didn't they? Bottrell and Pitt in the centre are the early race leaders. Cohen and Ferguson on the inside. And Aldridge and Dwayne Dennis at the back of the pack as they enter turns 3 and 4. Here they come. Aldridge has contact. Big one. And two of the bikes go into the concrete fence. Full noise. We've got riders and passengers everywhere. Aldridge and Dennis have ridden away from the scene. And we've got problems. Joe Gibbs Racing All replay. Take us through it.
Jason Aldridge's got a fair bit of drive and just drove into the side of Cohen there. Looked a bit like a racing incident more than anything. Very aggressive here from Aldridge as they come through on the inside. Cohen lifts a bit here now. And then, really, you're just a passenger there. There's 4 passengers. There's nowhere to go. Bottrell, of course, always out on the wide line. Nowhere to go for Dave and Ben Pitt at all. That is a big crash.
On board, look at it. Bayswater Radiators Race Cam. On board the Aldridge bike. Gee, you can see bodies flying everywhere, and this is absolute carnage. The scene from the news from the scene is that all 4 are conscious, but complaining of various injuries. Race has been declared, so remarkable scenes at the Pioneer Park Speedway venue. And all riders and passengers will be transported to hospital. Of course, so we wish them well. You don't like to see that kind of thing. And we'll advance with the remainder of the meeting, with that event having been declared.
Yes, let's hope all those boys are A-OK. No serious injuries. In this race, Schofield, Davies, Hinton and Pittman.
Well, they were scheduled to be the 4 riders on the track. It hasn't worked out that way. We only have the white and the yellow being Hinton and Pittman. And as the tapes fly, this will be a race where we literally go through the motions. The worst of them will be guaranteed 2 points, Darren.
Certainly, and Kevin Pittman's had one of those type of nights that he'd rather forget. James Hinton, all the way from Gosford on the Central Coast, will be assured of 3 points here, I would say. We say that now, and here comes Kevin Pittman with a little bit of a charge.
So the 2 of them out there doing their best, and Hinton now heads down the back straight again as we get a nice tight shot of Pittman and Davies. As I say, a mere formality here. 3 points to the winner and 2 points to the next team. Up the main straight and a couple of laps down. Again, of course, you're watching Checkered Flag and the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters, with thanks to Lindale's Labour Hire, Warren Plumbing Services, VDM Group and Queensland Speedway Spares in association with Joe Gibbs Racing Oil and Shannon Civil. And we now see our leading duo negotiating the last lap in this particular heat. And it's going to be a certain victory to Hinton and Newman as they exit turn number 4. And here's your winning team in that event that was very much an anti-climax. Across the line, Hinton and Newman. And next to the checker were Pittman and Davies. Still ahead on the program, the all-important grand final. We look forward to that with no little expectation. Look forward to your company on the other side of this break.
Hi, I'm Celia and you're watching the Sidecar Masters from North Queensland on Fox Sport.
You certainly are. Thank you for that and welcome back to our coverage. Nice to have you with us. Pioneer Park Speedway in air, and it is really down to the business end of proceedings now. That's Trent Coppy off the bike doing some gardening. Heat 19, Lohman, Carragher, Moon, Ing, Sewell, Laycock, Christopher Coppy. It's a beauty, and we thank Rams Heads for their support.
Okay, be interesting to see how Christopher and Coppy go on the outside of Sewell. Gary Moon on the borrowed bike, and Lohman's been doing a great job on the inside.
Great start by Sewell and Kim Laycock in the centre of the racetrack. They are the early leaders, and we've got a heck of a race in the offering here. You can see that Lohman and Carragher are running second, and a most unlikely scenario here with Christopher and Coppy back in third at the end of the first racing lap. The former world champs are going to have to wind it up on the outside here. They do so now and sweep by on the outside of Lohman and Carragher to secure second. Can they get the race lead? Sewell and Laycock are going to be under siege any tick of the clock. Christopher and Coppy got the thing running wide open. That is some move. A paralysing burst of speed, and they race to the front.
Yes, Christopher and Coppy up in the dirt too. Plenty of drive up there and a lot of horsepower from this bike. We see there Scotty Christopher doing it easy. Looks like a cakewalk. So one to go for Christopher and Coppy. Sewell and Kim Laycock running in second spot. Scott Lohman and Melody Carragher back in third.
That Rising Sun Honda race cam shot that we take again now, it actually makes Christopher look like he's doing it easily in relaxed fashion. It's anything but. Here's the checkered flag. That was their best ride of the night so far. Christopher and Coppy are into the A final, no doubt about it. Sewell and Laycock they should be there too. And Lohman and Carragher getting third place with 1 point there for their efforts.
Yes, great stuff from the Rising Sun Honda team. A lot of money and a lot of experimentation put into the Honda, and it seems to be going great at the moment.
Yeah, the Yamaha FZR is certainly the prevalent engine in Speedway sidecar racing. This is the final heat now of the qualifiers. Just the one race remaining after this. CDL Drilling bring you the action. In the final heat, Patterson and Veneerd, Hughes and Heidke, Sinott, Golding, Schofield. It should be good. Patterson, red helmet colour, left-hand side of screen. Hughes beside him in blue. The white helmet is Sinott, and the yellow Schofield underway. Best to begin was Hughes, who hasn't had too bad a night this evening, the former passenger.
I think Sinott and Golding will be interesting to watch. Hughes way up high, and there goes Patterson on the slick. The bike tried to turn around on him. They're side by side as they come over the start-finish line. Patterson on the inside, Hughes on the outside. Sinott and Golding back in third. They need the points to get through to the final.
Great racing here, Darren Cave. Have a look at them out there. They're exchanging lefts and rights. If I can use a boxing expression, it's pretty close out there. And right now we see heading to the front Hughes and Heidke, and leading now by a couple of bike lengths over their nearest rivals, Patterson and Veneerd. You'll probably find that's the way they'll finish in the final heat. Although as soon as I say that, Patterson comes back at him with a rush.
Yeah, straight on the inside move there from Patterson. Hughes was up high before and was going mighty fast. Now he's moved to the lower line, and Patterson put some pressure on him. Surprised though, Sinott and Golding, let's hope they've got enough points to get through to the final, the young teenagers.
Last heat of the night, and there's the victory. The checkered flag unfolding for Hughes and Heidke. Patterson and Veneerd finishing in second. That race having no bearing on the final positions start-wise for the final, which is still to come. VDM Group, constructors of motorsport complexes, Queensland Speedway Spares, Lindale's Labour Hire and Warrenora Plumbing Services. Trust you're enjoying the action on checkered flag tonight. Well, this is what it's all about. Forget about anything that's happened prior. The points scored become superfluous. It's a final time. Winner take all. Christopher Coppy in red, Aldridge Dennis in blue, Sinott Golding in white, and Sewell and Laycock. The next combo to qualify for this. 4 laps to determine the champion of the Rising Sun Honda North Queensland Sidecar Masters. The tape flies. Sewell and Laycock were slow away from the gate. Getting away quickly, Christopher and Copy, and also not too bad a job, Sinot and Golding, who are second.
Yes, great start then, and Christopher and Copy knew who their main competition was. It was the Aldridge boys. They got the start, forced Aldridge up high, and now Sinot and Golding keeping Aldridge way out high. Watch Aldridge as they go down the back, though. If they've got enough room, they'll try and charge right around the outside of the young fellas.
Very serious speedway here in the grand final. Christopher Copy, the leaders. Here's Sinot and Golding on the inside, though. It's not all over just yet, and Aldridge and Dennis are sitting back, having a good look at this battle, too. It's terrific stuff.
Yeah, Aldridge now cuts back to the inside. Great move there from Aldridge and Dwayne Dennis. There's Christopher and Copy. They're currently in the lead, and I don't think Aldridge can do it.
Here they come, yellow flag lap, 1 to go. Aldridge and Dennis have moved up to second. The defending champ are going to kiss goodbye to their title as we go on board with them, the CDL drilling race cam. But it's going to be the Rising Sun Honda combo of Scott Christopher and Trent Copy. They take victory in the Masters here in North Queensland. A good performance, great night for them this evening. Aldridge Dennis second, Sinot Golding third. We recap them, and that was entertaining stuff in the A final. I think it's fair to say they've probably been the best team all night, Darren.
Yes, I think Aldridge was very unlucky at the start. Then Sinot and Golding were thrown into the trio, made it very difficult for them on the CDL drilling Yamaha.
Well, we do hope you've enjoyed the action from North Queensland. Crowd showing their appreciation for Scott Christopher and Trent Copy, the former world champs, victorious in North Queensland tonight. Well, Scott, victory suite, really tough night at the office and emotionally hard for everybody here. An awful crash earlier in the night. How do you adjust after seeing something like that?
Yeah, I only caught at the end of it. It didn't look very good, and I just hope all those guys are well. You know, everyone feels for everyone in the sport, and we don't like to see that sort of stuff. But you know, it's not how you want to win a meeting, because a few of the good guys did get caught up in it. So, you know, a win's a win. But our bike was good tonight, and we're slowly working that Honda right, and hopefully we keep going with it, and because it is quick and it'll do the job for us.
I was about to say that obviously the Yamaha has been the prevalent engine in sidecar racing in recent years. You pioneered to some extent the fuel injection Honda, and that really didn't pay dividends, but obviously this naturally aspirated model's working a treat.
Yeah, you know, it just takes a while to get the motors quick, let alone the fuel injection and carburation. So the motors are right now. We've got an 08 one that we're going to put in a frame, and it will be on alcohol and injected straight away. So we think we got this one right, and we'll keep riding it. And you got to move forward. You know, some of these motors are getting very old, so let's keep up with the times and it'll be good.
Congrats and well done tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
And Trent, outstanding, mate. You can't do any better than the way you did it tonight. Very comprehensive.
Yeah, it felt good tonight. Like Scotty said, that Honda's flying. Not only the motor, the chassis that Mitch has put around it for us is just handles like a dream. And when we string it together on that bike, we're hard to beat. And tonight was the night.
Not wanting to dwell on the negatives of the night, but that's probably the worst crash I've seen in Speedway sidecars ever, with a racetrack resembling a war zone. How do you adjust and get back on with the concentration after seeing something like that?
You know, it's hard because we're all friends and you don't want to see the boys knocked up like that. On the other hand, we all know it can happen. You know, the boys wanted us to go on, they would, and at the end of the day, it is fun, you know, and we'll be up to see the boys later on. And you know, it does put a bit of a downer on it, but it also proves that we're professionals and this is what we do.
Start of a big season for you guys.
Yeah, we're going to chase some meetings. This is a kick-off for us. We had a bit of a break through the year. We didn't chase a lot of meetings, but I think with this new toy we got now, it's game on, and we're going to go and shake everyone up at their home tracks. And
it's amazing what a great incentive winning is.
Oh yeah, winning's what we want to do, you know, and I think we got the team to do it right now.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Hope you can join us on next Monday night's episode of Checkered Flag, November 17, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Fox Sports 2, opening round of the AHG Sprint Car Series from Australia's best dirt track venue. I refer to the Perth Motorplex. That's when we'll do it all over again, with thanks to Lindale's Labour Hire, Warrenora Plumbing Services, VDM Group and Queensland Speedway Spares. Good night from Townsville.
fought tough.